It is extraordinary how gauche and how clumsy uh, His Royal Highness the Prince Harry is in his effort to promote his new book. Now, clearly, there are deals with Netflix, which means that he has to promote this book. It's been ghostwritten, and I suppose in some ways we must say thank God, because if Harry had done this of his own back, if this was actually his own hand that was drafting all these stories, God knows what sort of chaos we would be trying to read. Those people I know who've read advanced copies of the book tell me that it is pretty second-rate stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing my own copy tomorrow, and I will read it very carefully and very analytically, and I will get back to you with my thoughts on it. But my thoughts at the moment about particularly the BBC's reporting is that it is extraordinarily sensationalist, and particularly the lines about Camilla being dangerous. When you actually look at what Harry is saying in the interview that he gave, he is talking about the danger in dealing with journalists, and particularly the tabloid journalists. You don't deal with tabloid journalists if you have something which is sensitive and difficult to put across. Tabloid journalism is like painting with very, very broad brushstrokes, and there is only one story. It's black and white, and Harry's is a story of shades of grey. And his grammar is all over the place. He starts a sentence, he then finishes another sentence, and it's torturous listening to that interview. As I say, I have no idea what the book is like, but I suspect somebody has tried to steer a much clearer message than Harry in fact puts out. Harry's message is one of a lot of hesitation, an inherent kindness, an inherent desire to get his story across, and an inherent dislike of this sort of black and white journalism, which is the stuff of our tabloids. Now, these are the people, remember, who were listening in on phone calls. I actually know people who did that. I really do know people who did that, and I'm as shocked by those stories now as I was shocked when I discovered about them in the first place. Tabloid journalism is based on deceit, and I don't think Prince Harry is deceitful. I think he's misguided, I think he's wounded, and I think he needs support rather than opprobrium. I think he's gone about it in the wrong way. I think he can pretty well resign himself to not going to the coronation. I think he can pretty well resign himself to remaining for the foreseeable future in the United States. And I think if he thought that this was a way to ratchet up his popularity, he's wrong. There are times when I think you stand up and you cry foul, but you do so because you're defending other people. I think defending his wife, Meghan, is not really defending other people. That is defending part of his own family. And yes, it's very gallant in a way, but it's still in the province of self-interest. And I don't think it washes with the general public. I think he is misguided. I think he's been misdirected. I think the royal family should have been providing him with support. And he is a prince of the royal blood. I think they should also have been supplying him with proper protection. For goodness sake, the government has been wasting money foot over fist, or whatever the expression is. It's extraordinary how much this government has wasted, and yet it can't pay for Harry's protection. And yet whose protection does it pay for? Ministers who are busy invading the stationery cupboard with their girlfriends. Ministers who are now proven to have lied. Ministers who are sunning themselves on the beach instead of doing their job. These people all get protection, and Harry doesn't. And Harry risked his life for our country. And Harry's mother died in a way that is really not explainable. I think we've got something back to front here. Badly back to front. And as I say, Harry explains very clearly, if you listen to the interview, how much he wanted his father to be happy with Camilla. He just didn't think it was necessary for his father to get married to Camilla. And he was concerned by Camilla's efforts to rehabilitate herself by chummying up with journalists. And we know those journalists, the Piers Morgans. We know them. And what is extraordinary is actually Camilla, despite those reservations that Harry, I think justifiably has actually done a jolly good job. I take my hat off to Camilla. I think she is spectacular. But I also think that Harry remains a lovable, wounded, vulnerable individual, and we should give him significantly more credit than he's getting. And the ire of the massed media, the mass tabloid media in the UK is something to be feared. And it's all pointed at Harry at the moment, and unnecessarily so. And we should, I think we should stand up for Harry. I think, as I say, hashtag give Harry a hug.